Have you ever eaten a healthy or so-called low-calorie snack only to be hungry an hour later? Or what about following a strict calorie diet, hoping to lose weight, and then you end up feeling exhausted, frustrated, giving up way before the progress shows up? This video's for you. I'm going to talk about 3 mind shifts. Number 1, why calorie counting often backfires. Number 2, what to focus on for short-term satisfied hunger and long-term health. And number 3 simple shifts that you can make today to fuel your body for a stronger tomorrow. Because here's the thing, longevity isn't about eating less fuel. It's about eating the right fuel. And today I'm going to show you exactly why nutrition beats calorie counting every time. Let's go. I want you to, first of all, use your imagination that I have 2 plates sitting here. This plate has a glazed Krispy Kreme donut on it. This plate has a baked chicken breast, standard size with the skin on, and it was baked. So, donut, chicken breast. Which one has the most calories? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're the same, within about a 30 or 40 calorie differential, depending on the little peculiarities of the weight and size. So let's just, for the purposes of this argument, consider these equal. Without me even telling you the difference in eating the donut and eating the chicken breast and how it feels in your body. What are the results of that? One makes you, it's delicious, and then it makes you have a sugar high and then a crash. And then 45 minutes to an hour later, you really feel like you need to eat something. Whereas the chicken breast is very satisfying. And to drive that point home, I want you to imagine this. Imagine if I asked you to eat 2 donuts and promised that and somehow could magically remove any consequences, let's say. So you eat 2 donuts. All right, that would be really good, right? Now, I want you to eat 2 baked chicken breasts. Not so much. 1 chicken breast is plenty. This is exactly the point that I want to make, is that same calories, different result. And the chicken breast is going to take you down the road a lot farther. So here's why calorie counting doesn't work. Your body doesn't just need fuel. Donut is a kind of fuel, right? It needs the right fuel. The second reason that calorie counting doesn't work over nutrition is that it messes with your hunger cues. Low calorie, high sugar foods trigger cravings instead of satisfaction. And it's just, you just want more. And it's not really giving you anything that you can burn on. And the third one is it can really slow down your metabolism in the long run if you restrict calories. Let's just say if you're going the healthier route and you're just eating a little plain salad. Well, that's good as a complement in your meal. But to just have that as your lunch, then you're going underneath the calorie demand and there's not enough nutrients in it to fuel your body. So you end up feeling tired and hungry and your metabolism lowers because you're not eating enough calories to keep that fire burning hot. So this is why people who rely on calorie counting can often end up stuck in a cycle of dieting, craving and energy crashes, feeling resentful that you can't have what you really want, and then getting frustrated and giving up before there's anything happening, and then go back on it again because you feel remorse for binging after the diet. It's just like this constant merry-go-round. And I've done it, and I'm sure you've done it. It's just a losing proposition. So instead of treating food like a math equation, I want you to treat it like it is fuel for your longevity. So here are the 3 things that you can use to make sure that you are satisfied, you're eating the right amount of calories, and you're fueling your healthy longevity. Number 1, protein, protein, protein. Very important to maintain muscle mass and for recovery and strength as you age. Number 2, healthy fats to fuel your brain and your hormones. Number 3, fiber and macronutrients to support digestion, immunity, and overall vitality. So the next time you're looking for a good snack, and you should have one if you're in between meals and you feel your blood sugar dropping, instead of asking, how many calories does this have? I want you to ask, what's in this that will sustain my energy until dinner and that will make me feel fed and won't spike my blood sugar? So how do you pick that out? Well, there's three simple ways to start with. Number one, upgrade your breakfast. If you're in a hurry, a good protein shake that's good quality ingredients, or a protein bar that is not too high in sugar, I would say keep the sugar down to the almost, if you can get single digit grams of carbohydrate, that's good, but up to maybe about 15 grams, but nothing more. And then 20, 25, 30 grams of protein is great. It just depends on the brand, really. So look at those labels. If that's for your quick breakfast. If you have a time to cook a breakfast, then you can do the Greek yogurt that's unsweetened, add berries to it, a squeeze of honey if you like that, not too much, and whole grain cereal, like a really good whole grain, like oatmeal that's the kind you have to cook, not the instant. That's very processed and won't give you as much fiber. If you have longer time and you're making a nicer breakfast because you have a longer morning, you can have eggs or breakfast meats that are very lean and not overly preserved. You can have all of that, the avocado and cottage cheese and different things that have good protein and fats in them. And then swap out empty snacks. So instead of processed foods that come in a little bag, maybe go for some raw nuts, some Greek yogurt, berries, hard-boiled eggs. By the way, the yolk in the hard-boiled egg is a really good source of fat. So having even an apple and a little peanut butter on it, the best. Or almond butter if you can't tolerate peanut butter. They really leave you satisfied and make you feel good and energized without getting too much of a spike of sugar. So number one, upgrade your breakfast. Number two, you want to get better unprocessed snacks. And number three, I want you to stop fearing healthy fats. Olive oil, nuts, and avocados, and even coconut are great sources of healthy fats that are really important for brain support and for your nerves and for your cell regeneration, just down to the most minute piece of your body. Very important nutrient. So remember, longevity isn't just about eating less. It's about eating better. And when you focus on real nutrient-dense foods, your body naturally regulates your energy, controls your weight, and your aging goes much better, the experience of aging. And no calculator needed. As an aside, I want to share with you something. It was such a big brain explosion for me when I went from just being a regular civilian into being a bodybuilding competitor. I got a rude awakening when I said, okay, I am ready to lean out for my show. I've got to keep my muscle on my body and lose the fat. Here we go. My trainer said, number one, Janet, you have to start eating more food. What? Eating more food? I was all psyched up to know that I was going to suffer. I was going to have to count calories and squeeze down till I was eating practically nothing. Terrible idea, because what happens when you do that? First of all, you don't have the energy to lift the weights. Second of all, your muscles say bye-bye. All that hard-earned muscle fiber that you put on your body is gone. This translates to regular people, all right? Eating more food that is very nutrient dense doesn't make you gain weight the way those processed empty calories will. It's the most uncanny thing. And I still remember thinking that my trainer was crazy when he said, oh, you want to lose fat? Eat more food. Are you crazy? So if these ideas resonate with you, drop a comment below and let me know, have you ever been frustrated by calorie counting? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have a story about when you sort of figured it all out, or a disaster like the time I went 3 days without eating and only drank water? Wow. Good thing I was a teenager so that my body could recover from that one. But you know what I'm saying? What are some of the things that you've experienced? Let's talk about it. And if you want more simple, good for your metabolism strategies to stay strong and healthy for the long road ahead, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. Next up, I'm going to be talking about the 3 most important things that boost healthy longevity. And I don't want you to miss it. So I will see you soon.